Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Panzer Corps II, an upcoming turn-based strategy game inspired by the Panzer General series of the 1990s. Panzer Corps II is being developed and published by Slytherin and Matrix Games. It is coming out on March 19th, so just a little bit under 2 months away. And this is episode number 4 in our Let's Play series. We've done the invasion of Poland. We've done the battle for Norway. And, episode number 5. And we have successfully attacked, although bloodily, the fortress at Sedan and driven through the French Ardennes and are now trying to drive toward the Channel coast. This is going to be a difficult slog. This is a very difficult battle. And I didn't really set myself up all that well in the previous fights because I was always using elite reinforcements, which are great because then you never lose experience and your units can become crack units. The problem with that approach is it also means that your units are often under strength because you never have enough prestige to take all the casualties and keep your experience up. And in the Battle of Sedan, I also took very, very heavy losses that I then tried to replace. I'm going into this battle at partial strength. And so that's going to show. This is going to be a battle that I get a little bit frustrated in as I try to kind of push the enemy back. But hopefully it's still enjoyable and interesting as you kind of watch this particular fight, because it's a really interesting map with a lot of interesting challenges, but it's also a challenging one. So with that being said, I'm going to turn this back over to my live streamy self. The audio that you're going to be hearing from here on out, at least till the very end, is from the live stream that I did on my Twitch channel, which is in the description a couple of days ago. Sit back, relax, and I hope you guys enjoy. We are continuing the operations. It's been less than a week since my brilliant breakthrough at Sedan, but there is no time for rest here, General. The iron is hot, and the time to strike is now. From your new base of operations, I need you to advance all the way to the English Channel, completely cutting off the Allied troops in Belgium. Primary objective, capture all the victory hex. Peronne over here, Arras, and I'm not sure if I'm mispronouncing that because I mispronounce everything on this channel. And Cambrai, or Cambrai, the 3 cities over here are key objectives. Along the way, there's a host of objectives you need to secure, crossing the Somme River, the Escaut River. Is that where the Escaut estuary is? At Cambrai, we'll have to be accompanied. I can't speak. Will have to be accomplished quickly, and be sure to secure them. Be sure to secure them well. Should a French counterattack try and retake them? Okay. After Arras deserves some attention. Recon from Rommel's 7th Division reported substantial garrison of British forces here, including heavy armor. So I would definitely prepare for that contingency. There's apparently going to be a bunch of armor near that British city, and then we need to move toward Calais and Boulogne. Along the coast. I feel like when I get nervous about word pronunciations, I just get worse. Anyway, finally, there's 2 more locations here, and will need to be secured fully to protect the flanks of our advance and permanently cut the Allied lines in half. Yeah, they're World War I names, eh, Big Terp? By the way, good to see you, Big Terp. I haven't seen you post in a while. I know that it's quite a task. Granted, I haven't been streaming much in a while. I know it's quite a task ahead of you, but I have every confidence in my abilities. Ooh, that might be pushing it. Meanwhile, we got another hero, Jürgen Schwarz. He reduced slots. Oh, probably reduces the number of units or number of slots a given unit takes up. We're going to need more air power for sure. We should probably assign a hero to an air unit. Trying to think, like, which of these take up the most slots. Ralph Galland, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, the air unit takes up 3 slots, so I think that makes sense to assign a hero that preserves your slots. Yeah. Alright. So we have very little money. We have badly shot up troops. I think this is where you kind of get pressured into being like, well, I guess I'll take less than elite troops as replacements, right? Because I don't want to spend all my money on elite replacements. I don't have any money. Yeah. There you go. My Stuka, and I've got 1. Okay, oh my god. Alright, so it looks like we probably need to secure the base at Lyon in the south. Lyon. So then we can advance along this roadway to Peronne. And then from Peronne, we can advance toward Amiens and Abbeville. I don't remember even seeing those on the game. Then from... Actually, we could probably move toward Peronne, then Amiens. From Amiens, if we haven't taken Arras, we can take it in the rear. And then we can also take Abbeville and then drive up the coast. So I think we need a big force here driving south toward this city. And then we'll have a moderate force advancing from Hirschen. I don't know if there's much of a purpose to advance out of Philippeville because that's further from the enemy positions. Maybe it's less well defended through the north here. I'm not sure. But yeah, so first things first, I'm assuming there's going to be an enemy force in the south here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our artillery, 2 of our artillery pieces here so they can immediately start supporting the advance there. Meanwhile, we'll put our self-propelled artillery gun up here near Hirschen. We'll put some of our armor in this vicinity as well. We'll also put a bit of our armor in the south. I don't even want to deploy this armor with only 2 hit points. I don't want it to just die right away. Infantry also heavy in the south. And then our other infantry up here in the north. It all's going to like end up linking up. I guess we'll put 1 unit up there in the north just in the event there's like an open front for us to move through. Meanwhile, our Stukas, strategic bombers, and fighters will all deploy. And then I think I pulled that infantry out. I think we'll keep the rest of these guys off map for now. And we'll end the deployment phase. I'm assuming that yes, I am right. So I do have a little bit of prestige to start the battle. I'm actually going to use that to immediately reinforce my fighters to full strength. And this one, Stuka, to full strength. Meanwhile... So this enemy armor actually looks beatable. So we're going to advance here. We'll advance this artillery to hit them to make them weaker. And so we hit these FT-17s, these French World War I tank designs. We drove them back. Nice. And actually we'll move a Stuka in here to see if we can finish it off. Not quite, but almost. Meanwhile, there's actually no enemy troops in any of these cities that I was stressing about, apparently. So I guess that means just quickly move in and take the airbase. That gives us prestige too, so that'll be nice. Move this infantry south to take this base. There is some French armor, though, on our flank here. We could also advance along that route. No, that's probably not the best. Matilda's near there? Probably. Up in the north near Arras, or Arras, or however you pronounce it. So there was literally no purpose to putting my... artillery down there. We're going to try and flank this river by moving our armor up to the north. I thought more of my infantry had better mobility. Apparently not. Apparently they're basically all foot soldiers. What's with this foot soldiering? Alright. Armored counterattack may come on our flank. That's okay, I think. We'll move our strategic bombers up near Cambrai. We'll scout the area. So it looks like there's 1 infantry unit, there's an artillery unit, and then there's an infantry unit in Cambrai. Cambrai. Peronne. Yeah. So I'm hoping that the enemy is just more spread out, but that they're not actually too strong. I guess we'll find out. But that's going to do it for the first turn. So we'll move forward and see what the enemy does. They immediately move south to try and attack our tanks. Fortunately, I've got that artillery there to help weaken them a bit 4 casualties inflicted, none lost. So their counterattack against that armor for that first unit anyway failed miserably. The second counterattack had a little bit more success. And they've got a 2-engine fighter there that just shredded our Stukas. Although our Stukas shot back okay. Holy crap, 5-2? The enemy fighters are murdering us. These are French fighters. These aren't even Spitfires. Good news. We can murder back. Mutually assisted murder right there. Boom! 4 casualties. Alright. Let's set this infantry here. Finish off that enemy armor there. It's a breakthrough or an overrun, which allows us to attack again. So then we'll move west off the roadway and attack this infantry here. Move my infantry forward here to help against this enemy infantry here and shred these boys too. 4-2 and then 4-0. Meanwhile, then we can move the infantry in from the north and hit them again. And drive them back once more. Meanwhile, my Stukas, which reinforced, move up here and finish these guys off. Maybe that's not the most efficient way of using it, but I kind of use them as, like, cleaning up the mess. Enemy armor is advancing on us, on our flank. This armor can move here, actually. We'll take that first enemy city. Drive them back. I don't want to move those Stukas forward, though, so I'm going to spend a butt-ton of prestige reinforcing these air units. But I'm not actually going to move too far forward. It's a recon car, actually. Alright, so we inflicted 3 casualties on it. I should have moved my artillery down there to support. I actually prefer... This is a weird thing to say, maybe, but I prefer the horse-drawn artillery. Especially with my challenges of logistics, where I don't know how to manage logistics. And I don't know how to manage fuel. The horse-drawn... You know, the horses never run out of fuel. May run out of hay, but they never run out of fuel. Yeah, AA guns. I think fighters would be a better investment, to be honest. I think the way the game handles AA guns is they do shoot down enemy units, but it is very much kind of a suppression first, shoot down second. So I think I'd actually prefer more fighters and less AA guns. Right, so this might be that counterattack that it was warning me to prepare for. Meanwhile, their fighters move up here. 5 casualties inflicted on us. Only 1 on the enemy? Oh, God. I'm going to bankrupt myself. Oh, wait. That was a Stuka. That's why. Wasn't actually an enemy fighter. False alarm. Spreading propaganda. But I did just shoot down one of the enemy fighter units, so I think they only have 1 more that we've seen thus far, anyway. Alright, so we've advanced to the gates of Peronne. We've taken that airfield to the east of the city. My candidate... Oh, okay. So bombard these guys. Alright, so what we will do with our air units is move them against these recon cars and these enemy infantry. I think it's less risk in the south. I don't think the enemy will move on us there. So we'll drive the recon car back. I'm hoping they don't try and finish this Stuka off, because I do want to finish that enemy unit off. I don't want to give them a chance to reinforce. So we'll do that. We'll destroy them there. Spend a butt of reinforcement money. I'll lose a little bit of experience on that. Okay. Alright, so we really don't have a strong enough fist moving at Peron. We're focusing too much to the north, I think. I mean, the roads do come together, but if the British are really so strong near that city... I'm also thinking I can use the infantry in the south to get a little bit of free prestige, maybe if some of these towns are unoccupied. Move him here just on a defensive measure. Alright, and then this artillery hasn't moved yet either. So I think we'll focus our artillery, I guess, around Peron. We can move this armor south via these plains. Go after that. Enemy attacks, probably to try and break away, but not very successfully. Oh god, there's a lot of infantry attacking us at this airfield. But apparently only one of them is going to attack. Meanwhile, now it's rainy. The rain has arrived. Here comes the rain. Doo -doo -doo -doo. Alright, I really don't like taking these kind of casualties, but it kind of feels necessary. So we're going to slaughter ourselves at this base. We'll hope the enemy doesn't counterattack our weak tanks over here to the west of the city. Meanwhile, we'll use this turn to reinforce our air units, probably. We'll take that base, get a little bit of prestige. 1 to 4, where did they retreat to? 1 to 3. So if these bases in the south are truly unoccupied, get a little bit of free prestige there. Meanwhile, can we rebase while we're... No. Apparently you can't even rebase while it's raining? That seems a little extreme. Alright, well, nothing else I can do this turn. Alright, so they're attacking our tanks there. Our tanks are pulling back, but they still could be attacked by other enemy troops. Meanwhile, the troops at Cambrai are attacking as well. They're just taking too many casualties there. They're down to 5 strength there. I don't know why you wouldn't just sit and stay on the defensive. Apparently our tank didn't... Oh, I was going to say our tank didn't die! And then the British showed up. Shit. Well, we just lost one of our armored units there. I don't know which one or how experienced or anything like that, but... Alright, so we took Peron in the south at least. So first objective down. Meanwhile, in the north, I think we'll... What I'm going to do is I'm going to move a chunk of my Air Force up here. I'll move my fighters in sort of a screening position over here, so that if the enemy does come at us, I think our fighters would give them help. Infantry will attack there. We'll drive forward here. Finish off that unit. Okay, so we took 2 objectives now. Now, if we zoom out here, we still have to move forward and take Arras, Amiens, Abbeville, Boulogne, and Calais. So that's still 4 more objectives. We're 1/3 of the way there. We're 5 turns in, but it feels like we've spent a lot of our energy already. I'm also worried about our ability to maintain any kind of advance, given our supply situation. One more Stuka here. Do I want to send him out here to finish off these guys? I think we'll send him over here to finish off this infantry. So we'll finish that unit off, and he's still within an adjacent hex of a fighter unit, so maybe he's within supporting range there. Meanwhile, with our 240 and our slots, we're going to go ahead and purchase another fighter unit. And we'll actually forward deploy him. Meanwhile, I forgot I did have some units that I hadn't deployed yet either. So move that infantry here. We'll move forward to turn number 6. Counterattack at Cambrai, or whatever. Enemy armor moves south. That was a bit of a surprise. 3-1. Great. Sure hope they don't retake that airfield. I don't know if our planes get destroyed if they take an airfield the planes are based out of. That is what happened to the carrier when they took it out. That would really suck to have just bought a new fighter unit that gets destroyed. It did not get destroyed. I haven't seen the enemy air units, though, in a while. Alright, so we're gonna... Wait. Wait, I thought we had a Stuka over here. Alright, Stuka's gonna hit this British Crusader. Also go forward and hit this French Hotchkiss. No, we just walked into an ambush. Anti-aircraft fire shot up some of our infantry, although not that bad, actually. The Arctic Saint, thank you for the follow. Can I rebase this fighter? I guess that's probably the prudent thing to do. Just because I don't want it to get destroyed. Then I don't have to abandon the base I'm at either. I'll take the experience hit to get more men. Move these infantry here. Can't actually see 2-2, 1-2. I've surrendered my principles, and I've started taking reinforcements from unexperienced sources. Alright, so I've driven back these enemy troops here, at least temporarily. I still have some strat bombers I haven't leveraged yet. I think we'll go after these recon cars, if only to make sure that they don't have an unfettered attack against us. God. It's going in like half strength. This is basically what like you hear about the Eastern Front being, where like Germans are fighting and attacking with units that are at like 20% strength. And just hanging on by the skin of their teeth after counterattack after counterattack. Good thing I pulled out of that airfield, eh? They just retook it. More armored counterattacks in the south. This stuff geared against my infantry. More armor in the north, near Peronne. Why is my artillery not firing in support? Aren't they supposed to assist? There's the enemy air force. Alright, so we've got this fighter. Go after these guys. So huge casualties inflicted on their bombers. Alright, we'll just try and hold the line in the south there. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I mean, my hope is that, like, what you see is the bulk of their troops and they can't effectively respond to your attacks, but that doesn't even seem true. Meanwhile, we retook that airfield. Another 50 prestige, I guess. That's the positive there. We drove it north. Move those reserves forward. Alright, so we destroyed or nearly destroyed one British armored unit. I think we'll finish it off. I'll just have to kind of be willing to take these casualties, I suppose. I'd rather not. But I'll hit this armor too to make its attack against me less effective. Actually do a little bit of damage too. Alright. Moving forward. Actually, it seems like the enemy air units... Well, we'll see if they attack this turn. Sometimes it feels like they attack, then they fly back to their base and wait a turn. So that would be great if that was true. Or we can alternate, like, turns where we have to worry about their air. Hey, our field guns took out an enemy... tank unit there. Nope, I was wrong. Fighters are right back. Alright, so the enemy... But the bombers didn't come right back. So this fighter... 2 to 2. 2 to 3. Alright, so it should be more or less combat ineffective now. I'm just hoping that, again, what we're facing right now is the bulk of their strength. Because if it's not, I don't know what I'm going to do. Alright, so we destroyed that enemy armored car. destroyed that enemy infantry unit. Alright. So, at least for the moment, it feels like that part of the battlefield we may have salvaged things a little bit. All we can do is suppress these tanks. We can't actually kill them. Oh, there we can get a kill in. I need my Stukas in the south. Problem is I've got an anti-aircraft gun right there. I've got units that can move. Alright, so we'll move forward one more turn. We're about halfway through, and it feels like the vast majority of my strength has already been spent. Let's see if the French bring their fighter forward again. We nearly destroyed their bomber, and then we nearly destroyed their fighter, but we couldn't finish both off. Meanwhile, more British armor up here in the north. Multiple British armored units. Oh my god. I can't even reach him yet. I need to rebase, but I don't feel secure enough in my position to do that. Can't reach him. Alright, this armor can actually counterattack these guys, okay. Alright, so... we'll take that town, get a little bit more prestige. Finish off these enemy bombers with our own fighters. And we'll try and suppress these tanks so that they can't effectively attack me next turn. Or not, if not effectively, then not as effectively. Okay. I hate the idea of like, oh, you're gonna lose casualties while all you do is suppress the enemy. It's like, well, that's a waste. Can we get lucky there and just destroy an enemy unit? Again, I think we really just have to hope that the enemy is committing all of their strength forward here. Although, who knows, because we just saw 2 more British armored units show up. Moving around our flank. Against our armor there. so it's overcast now. Move. Stupid. I can't reach it. Alright, so our artillery finished off that enemy armored unit. Meanwhile, we just overran and destroyed that enemy anti-aircraft unit. And destroyed that infantry unit, and now broke through down here. So the center of the line is opening up. The only problem in this scenario is that we don't have... I can't even reach that? Oh, no, I can. Okay, I can hit him. Do we force them to surrender, maybe? No, we just force them to retreat. Okay. Alright. Stuka in the north can't reach anything. Strategic bomber can. Drove them back. Okay, so there's still one strong unit here. It's a Matilda in the south, or in the north for the British. I'm hoping I've ripped the heart out of most of the rest of what they have down here. Don't really know. I think we'll rebase this guy here. I think that's safe now. Rebase this fighter up here as well. So we'll start moving our fighters forward. We're about halfway through the battle. My units are pretty well shot up. But there's a chance that the bulk of the enemy's strength now is gone. I don't know. We'll see. It's still a lot of... Oh, no. Okay. I thought they were going to sweep in here and take Cambrai. No, instead they decided we're going to go for your artillery. Which isn't great either. Is there any way you can just force them to surrender? Like, how much are they willing to take? Alright. So we'll hit that run alt with air. Again, there's got to be a point where they just decide we're going to break, right? Apparently not. I hate to use what little fuel I have left for retreating, but they're probably not strong enough to advance anyway, so I guess we'll deal with him. Finish him off and then move forward. Alright, so we're now advancing. We destroyed the last of the armor in the south. There's a little bit of armor left in the north. We're hoping to finish off. Meanwhile, all I see around this base is infantry. Trying to see what else I've got left. I don't want to really sweep the armor in behind the enemy lines because I don't know what's up there. rebase these guys forward to be a little bit closer to the front. That airbase must be overstacked now or something. Okay, so we'll move forward here. Hopefully these bases that are left are mostly empty. That probably is a wishful dream. Hey, our Stuka in self-defense shot down the rest of the French fighters there. Although there's another French bomber unit that just showed up. Good news for us. We already moved our fighters forward, so now we can shoot this guy to pieces. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I didn't mean to click on that. Wow. We really shot him up. Just one health unit left. Alright, do we have a Stuka over here that can finish this guy mostly? How is he not dead? Alright, finally. Alright, so we've encircled the base here. Move our artillery in the south forward a little bit to aid in that assault. These guys need reinforcements so bad that I hate to cripple their experience, but they just really need reinforcements. Alright, so there's some enemy infantry in the south there. Alright, so I was wrong. There's more enemy troops. These are French heavy tanks and some infantry. That won't be a cakewalk. Move our Stukas forward as well. Move our strategic bombers this way. It's a bit of a risky rebasing right on the front line, but I'm assuming if I don't see anything around here that we probably don't have to worry about being counterattacked here quite yet. Alright, so move forward to turn number 13. This feels like the one that maybe broke the straw that broke the camel's back. It does not feel like a battle that I have any real hope of winning. I don't know if I'm doomed from the start, like if my unit composition is bad, or oh great, British Spitfires just showed up. Hurrah! If it's a unit composition issue or what. It could just be a you're screwed no matter what. Although I'd like to hope not. Alright, so we took the base in the north, drove the enemy infantry out. Another 100 prestige for us for that. I guess they're Hurricanes, not Spitfires, so slightly better. So we'll go ahead and rip apart their fighters up there. Alright. I don't have any more money, so with like 7 turns left, we've got to take this base, and then we have to turn north and take Abbeville, Boulogne, and Calais. Sorry to sound a little bit down, but I'm not too optimistic about my chances. I keep saying that, but it just feels like I'm pushing forward with like 50% strength units. That might be the strongest French armor we're going to face in the south there. I think that's one of those really heavy French tanks that the Germans just had no answer for. Our one answer would be Stukas. So we can suppress it, but we can't destroy it. But without pushing it back, I can't bomb it again. I attacked again there. I didn't have a good chance, but I was hoping that maybe they'd retreat so then I could hit them again. Alright, so we destroyed that enemy unit. The enemy Hurricanes retreated, so I'll go for their bombers. Their Fidos will probably show up again next turn and hit my my own aircraft. Did I already move my strat bomber? No, he's over here. I guess we can scout out with this guy, like what's to the west. There's their bomber. Well, at least their armor should be completely ineffective in any kind of attack. Meanwhile, they gone. Thank you very much for the bits. Greatly appreciated. Alright, so they're going to counterattack my infantry there. Will we do a good job of... No, not really. Anti-aircraft fire suppresses our bombers, but doesn't actually do much damage. More infantry showing up here near Amiens. Badly chewing up our infantry there. Alright, so let's finish these guys off with our Stukas. Overrun. Good result. Swing our artillery south. LCG Canyon. Thank you also for the bits. Really, really appreciate the support, guys. Let's see if we can shoot these guys down. There we go. I'll lose the experience on that armor just to get the advance restarted. So Abbeville doesn't actually look too heavily defended. Or Abbeville, or however, I don't know how you pronounce it. Our Stratties are going to come down here and hit this city. Four to 4. Do 3 to 4. All right, so we're going to go 3 to 4. And actually, we just took the city, drove the enemy out. Get 100 more prestige. Doesn't pay for the casualties we took, but... there you go. That's a great result. By the way, I'm hoping these French infantry in this town near Clermont stay in their position, because if they strike at our flank near Peronne, that could be a problem. All right, so we took this objective. Now, with still 6 more turns, or 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5 more turns, we have 3 more objectives. I don't know how, but I'm going to try. Yeah, I can't. I shouldn't do that attack. As long as the steam is out of the enemy air, our air support should help. Okay, we'll hit them. Strat bombers will hit there. All right, so those guys surrendered, which is great news. Now we just have to march on Abbeville. Okay. We'll finish off that enemy aircraft near this city. The problem is usually the last objective is gonna be a tough one. See if we can just use what's left of the fuel on that armor to maybe bypass them to a certain extent. There's anti-aircraft guns there, which I don't really want to deal with. But this infantry should be able to move in and take this objective. Maybe these tanks and infantry can bypass and move north on the other objectives. I'm just really nervous about leaving units in my rear. It does look like this infantry up here may be moving toward the objective. Fortunately not toward Peronne. Keep forgetting about these infantry near our wreath. All right, move forward to turn number 17. Let's see what they do. Any aircraft against our Stukas. Infantry continues to move toward the objective we just took. Alright, so those guys are going to shoot at that. These guys will move down this way. So some of our air, actually a lot of our air can't even reach. Okay, so they'll be able to move into range next turn, bombard. Alright, I don't see how it's possible for me to get to the last two objectives. I think it's probably impossible. We'll see. Man, my infantry there was very ineffective in that battle. A little bit better up north. Yep. There's at least some enemy armor up here. AMCs or something. I shouldn't have moved that armor of mine. I should have. Okay. In any event, we took the base. With no real prospect for the enemy to take it back. So get some prestige there. But 2 more turns, 19 and 20, to move this far north. And if there's strong enemy resistance in the way, good luck. Fudge. I need paratroopers, maybe. And I need to take that airfield next turn so I can move my aircraft that way. Alright, so we'll drive the enemy infantry back there at least. Get our wagon-drawn artillery. I wish there was a wagon-drawn infantry component. That would be interesting. So this may be our first defeat. I don't think there's partial victories, Coffee. I think it's all or nothing. I could be wrong. I haven't lost yet, so we'll see. Shit. Tanks versus our artillery. And some hurricanes. Shoot those guys down. Down goes the Royal Air Force. Da 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 da. So there's one infantry unit there. Guessing there's something else in Boulogne, but I can't even get there. That's the problem. Unless maybe my artillery could get there, but it would have to be an open city. Which it isn't. Okay. We'll do what we can. Yeah, it's not an open city. So nope. We're going to fall probably 2 or 3 turns short. Be interesting if it was like, you've got 3 more days, but it's a partial victory, you know, that kind of a thing. Yep. We fell short. We had a bunch of money there at the end because I kind of stopped spending for reinforcements because it's a little bit pointless, but the logistics is what kills me in this game. Defeat. So what happens when you lose? Nothing. It kicks me out to the main screen. It's just like, wow, you suck. The end. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump in here and wrap this one up. Don't worry, this is not the end of the series. So apparently the game, when you lose, just kicks you out at the main screen. With that being said, I don't know if that's what the actual final version of the game will do or not. Keep in mind, this is a preview version of the game. It's not the final version. They're still about 2 months away from completion, and I don't even have access to all the scenarios. So there could be some other event that will trigger in the event of a defeat in the actual final version of the game. With that being said, that is going to do it for this episode. I will have another episode where we pick things up and try a different tact in the invasion of France. We're not going to fight this battle again. I went back to the Norway battle to see if I could do a little bit better to set myself up for these battles better, and it actually took me through the sort of northern invasion of France when you go through Belgium, Holland, and sort of northern France, not through the Ardennes. So in these last 2 episodes, we picked the invasion through Sedan. In the next episode, we're going to go back a couple of battles after Norway and then pick things up with the invasion through the northern part of France. But that'll be another time for another episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this stream. Let me know your thoughts below as always. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.